Yeah, it's part 16 of my game, Great War in Europe, and we're in the eighth turn. The Allied has the initiative in the west, the Central Powers in the east, and first we take a look at the weather, because well, on the western maps has to be resolved. I made the die roll. It was uneven, so it's wet weather in all the western um, theater maps, and also in Italy. And the Italian troops, yeah, deployed a little bit different from the early setup. I think here in Trent it's enough to do some little defense positions and to make more attention about the supply sources in the rear. This frees some units that I can rail away, or which have begun to the eastern front here near Caporetto and Isonzo, and also the Alpine units, the mountain units from the Italian have switched the position, and yeah, they are really quick. They are really fast here in the mountains here, and they reached this spot here without a problem. And so the Austrian has to reshuffle his units again to save the spots here, Piezzo, and even I don't think, yes, no, Saxenburg, it's also in reach. And yes, what does it mean if I shuffle the troops here around? It means that the Central Powers have to do a lot of strategic movement. And in the last round, it was the first time they have 24, but they have to pay double when something is railed outside of Germany, and also double if the headquarter will be railed. And in the last turn, they cannot rail the last unit which they want to rail, because the 24 limit was reached. And yes, this is the thing to shuffle the troops forth and back, that the enemy, the opponent, has to reach the maximum and cannot do what he wants in the end with all the troops. I didn't know if this always happens so, but it was the first time, and yeah, it was nice to see. Okay, and the Italian, yeah, they do their first attack even in winter times and wet times here at the Isonzo front, and they scrambled a lot of troops together. And yeah, the Austrians only have one unit there, and as you know, one unit is not as much as you think. And here at this point, where no mountain, only the river gives a little bit protection, but not enough. It was 7-1 in the end, and this means it's a 5-1 without the possibility of the 5-1 plus 2 die roll modificator. And so this unit is killed without a die roll, and the Italian can occupy this spot. And they go there with 3 units only. Yeah, there's only 1 unit left. It's not a big deal, but in the long run, it could be dangerous to not take enough attention on this front. And as you see also here is a little unit new, the PO. I think it's police meant, Polizei unit. There's a yellow dot, and it was in the shit pool. The German paid a resource point to draw 2 shits, and one of these was this police unit. And yes, they can back up a little this front. And the other unit was a German fighter here, the little fighters from the World War One. I have some of them here in my gallery, and yes, I think this is appropriate. It's nice. It's from Wings of War. A good game, not a really serious game, of course, but yeah, it's fun to play with kids and so. And yeah, so yes, then we can look to the second battle. It's only a 4-1, but yeah, 4-1 is also not bad. And roll Oh, I have to do the. I will roll it again. It's not good. It's a 3 again, and it's 1 and 2, and yeah, in the end effect it's a 1 and 1, and they take this spot. It's yeah, it's Caporetto, a well-known town to some of the historical interested people. What I think what we all are a little bit, since then if not we would like to play such games, because yes, it's also the historical alternatives, or the what could be possible historical with the troops engaged and with the units engaged, and with the terrain features and so on. What could be possible alternative history, and I think this is yeah, a good example for alternative history. Okay, so yes, the Italians are on the run, and the Austrians are going to look a little bit surprised. So the Allies on the Western Front in France, yes, what they have to do is only to close the holes here, to yeah, strengthen the line and make no way through it. So they yeah, it's already thin here, because as you see we are wet weather, and here are some rivers and some forest places, and so if you are very thin here you cannot shuffle the troops through the front here, because over the rivers it's difficult, it costs the movement points extra. And so here is the spot with only one. I hadn't enough troops to make this a 2 solid line, and also here this fort and tool. Yeah, it's 5 points, and the German can think about attack it. I have to yeah, but also here is also a weak spot, and the French put the headquarter here to, yeah, to hopefully hold this position. And as I said, the British, yes, they sorted out 3 units to go to the Near East, and yeah, the sea movement capacity only allows 3 units, and because the cavalry units, yeah, they deny the trench bonus, and so they are, I think, not so worthwhile here on the Western Front, and they go to the Near East and hopefully hold the Suez Canal there. And so the line here is very thin. Here they abandoned a lot of spaces, and even Amiens, a big city, but yeah, luckily not a victory hex. I think, yes, it's not a victory hex. And here only two cavalry units here, and yeah, as you see, it's a thin thing, and if the German goes, it's wild in the next round. You will see what happens. Yes. Okay, for the strategic movement from the last turn, perhaps one thing: these 2 cavalry units railed back here to Maubeuge to build a ring. Yeah, not really a ring, but it's enough. You have only to have so many troops around the fortress that they do the surrender roll, like units are in the fortress. So 2 with the intrinsic unit, and that's it. On the Eastern Front, yes, on the Eastern Front, the Austrians, as we saw at the Italian front, they need troops there, and they pulled out, yeah, in the end, 3 troops, 3 units, or 4, I don't think. If you look, yeah, it's 3 units out of the front line to send to Italy. Yeah, but this shortened the line, and you see here the Russian attacks take some results. 4, 5 hexes abandoned, free for the use. The Süd headquarter is here in charge of these positions where here are every time came the Russian attacks against these spots without terrain features. Yes, they hope they can hold it. And the Germans, yeah, they wanted to go to help the Austrians, but it's wet weather here in the east, and the river cost one movement point, and so they couldn't reach really here over this edge. They came only to Lodz with 2 lousy units, and here with 3 units, and they're standing here in the open ground, and no Austrians on the other side. And yeah, as you see, there are a lot of Russians here in the middle of Poland, and so they took a defense position behind the Narew and the Weichsel or Vistula River, we in German say Weichsel, behind these rivers, yeah, and to wait what the Russians are doing. Also here, yeah, no attacks and only plannings for strategic movements. Good. So the last episode is this nice map here in the Near East, and we take first a look at the situation near the Suez Canal. It's a critical situation for the Britain, but yeah, they railed this unit from former position Bir El Hassan in the last round to Port Said, and then go forward to bolster the position here in Qualia, and now there are 5 factors, and the Ottoman had 14, and yeah, of course we have to do 2 things here to pipeline station to not be cut out of supply, but yeah, it's also a 2-to-1 attack for them if they want to do this. But they can go yeah, the southern way to Bir El Tamada. Yeah, the Britain has to leave this place, and as you see from Bir El Tamada, they had supply, they can easily reach it. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 to this point here, and from this point they could attack Bitter Lake, but they cannot reach this point from the pipeline station. It's 2, 4, 6, 8, only to this point, and this point is out of supply. So this round they can go this way. Next round they come a little bit closer because they don't attack, but they have to be a little bit fast because they're only April and May, and then it's June and hot in June, and the northern or southern, yeah, the southern road to the deserts here are closed because hot weather. And so yeah, as we saw, 3 Britain came now to the Suez Canal, also in the defense. I'm not sure if it is enough with these troops to make some serious threat here against the Britain. But yeah, of course they get 2 reinforcements here from the strategic movement box. But then came the strategic turn D, and then they have to roll 2 dice to build up this required reserve holding box. And yes, if you roll a 12, then you have to pull back a lot of troops. And so from this roll is many dependent how offensive the Turks can be. On the Iraqi side of the battle, there is no advance from the Turkish. They try to hold Kut and try to slow down the British move. And in the Caucasus, as we saw it, no, I don't see saw it really, because the strategic movement pulls here 2 strong units to Batum. And yes, the only thing what they can do, the Turkey, is pull back, go in this defensive position. Yeah, the cavalry cannot surround it because 2, 4, 5, the river, 6. To this point it's possible, but not to Trebizond. But then, of course, he is bottled, but if he goes this way, it's also bottled. So it doesn't matter what you do. Yeah, it's a little bit, yeah, I don't know how it works out, I think. But they had no supply here. 1, 2, 3. Oh, the supply is also here. So yeah, I think they get be bottled and killed from this unit, and then we see what the God of the Dice have to say to this attempt. Yeah, the other troops tried to go a little bit more to this focus point, and also, yeah, saved Tabriz and this town. they don't go south too, because they are too weak to make really a difference now. And I think the Turkish has to go to the defense here against the Russian, and probably even pull some troops out, but I don't see it. Yeah, perhaps, but yeah, the problem is if they pull troops out, they go first in the transit box and then the next round in this box, and I think here it's not a 4 what I always 2 dices, and so it doesn't matter how now to hold troops out. Okay, this was the initiative turn. And yes, the next thing is the non-initiative player operational turn, because I read 2 attacks, and now it's up to the Austrians here, and yeah, of course they can shuffle a little bit around, and they have to do it. But I think they can do it also with only, no, they cannot do it with operational, because it's 2, 4, 6, 8 to Saxenburg. He can reach it also, so for this thing I have to use strategic move. I have to put some mountain troops there, then they can easily more shuffling around. Yeah, and at this point here, I got the reinforcements. I can put the reinforcement nach Goritza because it's a fort, and so it's allowed to rail into this part, but not to Tolmino. And also to Piezzo, but yeah, Piezzo, I have to think offline about it. And yes, the Germans of course also offline, the Russians also. So I think it's enough for this part, and I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.